Kiali Sprint 73 summary demo. At the end of this sprint, we expect to release the Kiali version 1.51. This is the community meeting. And yeah, it's to give you an overview what the team has been working, the community has been working during the past 3 weeks. We are going just to show some highlights of the work. Remember, this session, this part of the session is recorded, will be updated to the YouTube channel. Please feel free to watch it later. And after that, with the community session, the community discussion session, the Q&A will be not recorded. We will stop recording to open any kind of discussion. Yeah, what the team has been working on in this Sprint 73, mostly keep hardening the UI and the testing. So you can see again in the projects, you can see all the activity, all the issues that are in the backlog in progress. And we have a lot of hard work in the UI and also in the testing area. So some of the highlights just to the big areas this sprint is that, this was a pretty important task in the user interface. We have some upgrades for the React framework and also the Patternfly framework. There are not many important visible changes from the user perspective, but there are also some important updates in the base dependencies. So I can tell you that Patternfly, in case that you are not familiar with, Patternfly is the framework that we use for the UI. It's responsible to give you the standards style for navigation, the standard controls for tables, cars, all these controls. So we have a very big upgrade from the version 2 to the version 4. And also we have another band for the React framework. The React will control the life cycle of the application. It has been a very big effort to make this upgrade transparent for the user. You shouldn't notice, but I can tell you it has been pretty hard to do that. So there are some pending minor changes in style, but I would like to thank you, Jay, for the hard work on this effort, because I know that you have to fight a lot with all this framework. Yeah, but yeah, this is something that we did in this sprint. It should be transparent for user, but was a big effort just to do this upgrade. We will address security issues. We will be in a better position to not get obsolete all these components, and that was something necessary, right? Okay. So yeah, in another area that was pretty active was keep the migration of the API test suite. Kiali has an API which is considered private in the meaning that it's only used by the Kiali user interface. But it means that the API and the models can change anytime, any commit. So perhaps an API can be modified and the model behind is because the only user is the Kiali user interface. So in the past, we have a legacy suites that test this area, and now we created another version which is fully migrated into Golang with the goal to be maintained pretty close with the API chain. So now the idea is that it's going to be integrated in the upstream pipeline. So you will see that every time that any developer sends a pull request into the project, this suite is going to be run. So also this API test suites can be secured locally in any platform. So thank you, Hype, for this work, because you don't need to wait to the CI to send your pull request to see if it works. So you can, in the same local cluster that you used to develop, you can also, with this command, with the make test integration, you can also to run this suite and also to add your change. We are going to be more unit of work philosophy strategy, in the meaning that the change of features, when we change the API, we will request, the reviewers will request to the authors also to update the test suites, also in the same pull request, just to help to maintain these suites and enrich these suites that can be more useful for any platform, right? Okay, so in the same area, in the testing, so we have increased the coverage of the UI testing. So thank you a lot for all the people working in this effort. As you can see, we have started this effort from nothing, from scratch, and now we have a lot of feature files on the Cypress framework and a lot of common useful features to test. close to 50 pull requests. Some of them are close integrated in master, right? Some of them are still pending, right, to do that. And also this UI test suite is well integrated into the App CI pipeline. So when you send a pull request, it's expected that it's going to run this pull request, right? And also we will try to keep this philosophy of the unit of work. So the idea is that these suites evolve with the UI change. So when you send a pull request or when you will send a new change in the feature, bug fixes, the idea is also we will keep trying to update in these test suites just to have better coverage on it. Right? It was a pretty big effort. So thank you everyone to all the people involved in this effort. I know it has not been easy just to try to set it up. We have a lot of concerns about the resources. The virtual machines in the pipelines are pretty small. And just to try to set up a new cluster with Istio and with all the demo application to do that is not easy. But I guess that we are in the right way, right? So thank you, Erin, for. Also, this is a new initiative that we have started to do. We call it the Webpack plugins initiative. In case that they have user of Kiali that would like to embed Kiali in the UI tool, remember before that, at the beginning of the project, we have a feature, a capability just to show Kiali in like a kiosk mode that you can embed like an iframe part of the Kiali to do that. So we are exploring the initiative to improve this integration with other platforms, right? And we are in a phase to brainstorming and also to try to collect feedback from the users. So if you are watching this video and also you would like to have a better integration with the Kiali in your platform, in the UI tool, and you have any requirements or this effort is interesting to you, just feel free to start any discussion with us because we are collecting feedback that can help us to make a better integration of Kiali in other tools. Right? Also, miscellaneous fixes and changes. So we added a new capability for the authorization policy validations. Remember from when in Kiali, we manage different type of configurations. If we want to create traffic policies for a namespace, right? So Kiali can also create this kind of objects for you, right? From the view when we created these objects, right? Now we have a new capability for this type of object authorization policy. As you can see, if I want to create a principal that doesn't exist, right? So you can see now a new validation that is telling me, hey, you are adding a configuration, a new service account that is not linked with any other service account with the pod, right? So this is a new validation in the project. Also, yeah, we added the internal refresh in the Istio config details. So it's a minor change, but you can see that before this, the Kiali was trying to get updates from the server to see if this file changed by other sources, but we didn't have the control to that. We couldn't pause this, so we add this control back to the page, and now we can just get the update. This is anyone else is updating this configuration file, right? And yeah, and when we enable, the Kiali errors and the Istio analyze errors at the same time, so now we will see them together in the same side panel of the review. A minor change, but also was included in this. And yeah, and I guess that's all that I have for the highlights for this sprint 73. I'm going to stop the recording.